every day when I come down the stairs, I stop in front of the mirror on the stairs and I look in the mirror to see if the baby's dropped. It is not.
Speaking of the baby update, you are miserable.
Always.
Agreed. And we don't have any plan for what we're going to do when we have the baby, just not have the podcast. We'll probably do an episode after, right? We said that.
Yeah. I had a nightmare the other day that my water broke during one of the filmings of the podcast.
I would prefer that. Do you want to tell everybody how we found out, or how I found out about Wells?
That I was pregnant with him?
No, I was there. I was there when they did the implant. I was there. When your water broke, and do you want to tell everybody about that? About how you told me, and then how you got mad at me?
I don't remember.
You got mad at me for telling people in my office?
Oh, okay, yes. So, with Wells, I worked right up until I had him. It had been a weekend. It was Sunday night, early Monday morning, and I wasn't feeling well, and I just been up walking around, and my water just spontaneously broke.
Well, no, don't say it with that confidence. You did not know that.
Well, no, I was pretty positive, but then I went and woke you up, and I have a fight or flight mode, and I do a very calm voice, and I think that comes from being a teacher, but I leaned over you.
It's so creepy.
It was the same voice that I used when Charlie had the lockdown. I leaned over you, and I said, I need you to get up. My water just broke. And you're like dead asleep. I think it's 4 a.m, maybe 5 a.m.
It's so creepy. It's like the house could be burning, and you'd be like, you need to get up. The house is burning. Come with me.
Well, think about having 25 kindergartners. I mean, I can't be like, let's go. The house is burning.
Why not? That's what I would do.
It would be. That would be terrible.
So I was completely prepared, right? So I grabbed my pre-packed bag.
Nothing was packed. You were not packed. We didn't have the car seat in the car because you had been putting it all off. You had not done a single thing. I had my bag packed.
None of this mattered. So I threw my one change of clothes, which took 7 seconds, in a bag, and probably in your bag, and then brought the bags out to the car. You
were acting like you were calm and collected. You were running around like a chicken with their head cut off, just back, forth.
That's only because it was 4 or 5 in the morning. That had nothing to do with it.
I don't think so.
And then I had the presence of mind to text a few people in my office and say, hey, I'm not coming in. Ashley's going to have the baby.
Yes,
and you got
said,
very
Ashley's
mad.
Water broke. And I said, why would you do that before we get to the hospital? And they check me because my biggest fear is getting to the hospital and them going, well, you just peed on yourself. Because
it never occurred to me that you just peed on yourself.
That happens to women all the time. They go in or they have false contractions or the contractions stop and then they get sent home. And I'm like, why would you? You told multiple people.
Yeah, I answer to people. Everybody thinks I'm the boss. I had to explain why I wasn't going to be at work on Monday, okay?
I told my boss, I said, I'm having some contractions. We're going to the hospital. I'll let you know how it goes. Very simple.
I think after you told me you can't say that, I may have just peed on myself. I'm pretty sure I texted everybody back, wait, she may have just peed on herself. I'll let you know.
I think you did too. So thank you for that. Hopefully you learned your lesson. And this time you will give us time to at least just get to the hospital and let them just evaluate everything before we, send out a mass group text.
Are we ready?
No.
Well, what's our birth plan? Somebody asked me that the other day, and my question back to them was, what's a birth plan?
So our birth plan, I actually filled it out at the...
water birth with a doula and silence. I want a silent birth.
I filled it out at the doctor.
Like a Scientologist.
I filled it out at the doctor the other day, actually, and it is just, we want an epidural. Yes.
We don't want an epidural.
I want an epidural.
Got it. I want lunch. What I want is lunch. I didn't get lunch last time.
Well, sorry. And just, there's questions on there, like, will you accept a blood transfusion if you need to? Because that's a religious dilemma for a lot of people. I mean, I didn't get it. We don't want a water birth.
I know. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I just
We have
quick,
a car seat.
easy.
It's not in the car. I could put a car seat in 7 seconds. Like, that's not an actual concern.
No, I actually one of the big things that I did to get ready for this baby is I did have the car seat professionally cleaned, and you gave me so much about that.
It's kind of ridiculous.
It is not, and
We have a 12-year-old. You want a professional cleaner?
No,
12-year-old.
no. You married into the girls. So I have dealt with car seats for 13 years.
Yeah, you've accepted that you're just going to have food all over your car at all times, day and night.
I have cried over car seats, not being able to get them in the seat, like back into the car, not being able to get the padding back on the car seat. Were
you pregnant
terrible.
during that when you cried? Because actually,
no, I was not.
Actually, 30 minutes ago, you cried because I couldn't hear you as you talked to me through the shower door. You were talking to me through the shower door. I couldn't hear you, and then you cried because I couldn't understand you.
Absolutely, that makes sense.
Okay. This is what I'm dealing with, people. This is it. Didn't you tell me the other day that cleaning car seats would be a great business? I could just see you out in the driveway crying as you clean
Not for me. It's not a great business plan for me because I would be crying. But this lady is doing amazing. She comes and picks up your
You know what she probably has?
car seats.
Twin 12-year-olds who do all the work.
No.
She's like, oh, you want to go to the movies? Clean a car seat.
No. But she comes and picks them up. She cleans them and brings them back the next day. And they're put together like factory setting again.
Factory setting? Does she unplug the power cord and turn it? Sir, you having a problem? Did you unplug it and plug it back in?
She did like wrap up all the, the loose straps and things and put rubber bands. I mean, this pregnant lady's heart just swelled.
Well, you had a rough week last week.
Yeah, so I deserve to have that car seat cleaned. So I didn't have to do it.
Yeah, so you were here pretty much alone for the week with 3 kids.
Yes, you were in a conference. You were in Utah. So anytime you're out of town, it just hits the fan.
Didn't you just say a minute ago you don't curse?
I didn't know another saying that could.
Didn't she say that?
That could really, hit that home.
Look, I'm not against it. I just you walk around here being like, oh, I don't curse.
It was a rough day.
Yeah. So tell everybody what happened.
Well, that day, my mom it started out great. My mom came to help me get the nursery ready because we had done nothing in the nursery. It just had boxes. We had just putting Amazon boxes in there.
We put a rug.
We did.
Gotcha.
Had a rug, but how many Amazon boxes did it have in there?
17. Not a joke. 17 because I carried them all up the stairs. And when I kept saying 17 to you in the weekend before, so I left on Monday. I moved them Saturday or Sunday before I left.
Yeah.
And I kept saying, there's 17 boxes. You're like, no. And I'm like, no, really, I've taken 17 trips up the stairs.
Well, I didn't hit the option to combine the orders in a box. I just said send them when you get them.
You never clicked that option.
I know.
Why
I'll
not?
recycle the boxes. Okay. Anyway, so my mom came and helped me and unboxed all of those boxes that you so kindly carried up there. And we, unpacked some things, put some things in the dresser and made it not look quite as scary as that room had. It still is not put together.
And then?
And then my mom fell down the stairs.
And then?
And so I had to call which it's not funny that she fell down the stairs. I'm not laughing at that part.
Your mom watches this.
I know. Sorry, Mom. I had to call my dad and my brother because my mom lives an hour away and she was like, I'll just drive home. She had sprained her ankle. It was swollen. She was like, I'll drive.
Sprained her right ankle.
Yes.
And she said, I'll drive using my
left foot. I'll drive with my left foot. And I said, that's not safe. So, and
She's coordinated. I mean, I think she could do it. Plus, driving from our house to her house at most times of the day, you're only going 15 miles an hour.
Yeah. She, this was like 8:00 at night. So I called my dad and my brother so that they could come and get her car and one of them could, take her she needed to go get her ankle checked because at the time we weren't sure if it was broken because it was so bad. And so they came, they got here, at 10 maybe? 9, 10 o'clock?
I don't know. I didn't know about this till the next day.
Yeah. And so they come, they take my mom. I go to bed and then I wake up. I get woken up at like 11:30 with Wells, and he's crying, and you can see him on the camera scratching. So I go and get him, and his whole face is red with these big blotches, and he's having some kind of allergic reaction, it looks like. And so I had to take him to CHOA, the Children's Hospital down the street, at midnight. I think I called you first. And
I was still looking for food. It was 10 o'clock in Salt Lake City. Because the time changed. I was still like, I'm just trying to find dinner. I can't. Where?
Yep. And I was like, what should I do? You know, I've tried putting some cream on his face. It's not working. And I was honestly worried at that point. Because he's so young and he can't talk, I was like, is he going to go into anaphylactic shock? Like, I don't know. You know, I was making sure he was breathing fine. And the hospital was really nice. They were glad that I brought him in because they said, yes, you just never know with babies how they're going to react to it. And it ended up being just a cold virus that he never had a fever for. He just had a little runny nose. And they said with cold viruses, you can break out in hives. And his whole body was covered.
Yeah. He looked like he had like rolled around in poison ivy.
Yeah. Or had gotten into like an ant bed because there were whelps on him. So they gave him some really strong Benadryl, and he came home and went to sleep. But we didn't get home until like 2 a.m. The girls were here. I had to wake Charlie up to watch not to watch her, but to just be aware that, you know, I was going to be gone for an hour or two. And that in itself was hard, you know, waking up a preteen. And then we get home at 2, and I still have to get big kids to school.
I feel you. I mean, it was tough because when I was in that room,
it was tough in Utah.
Yeah, when I was in that room, you know, it was one of those hotels that when you set the air, it just keeps going. So I was getting a little cold at night.
Yeah.
And then I get a little hot. Yeah. So I feel you.
You know what? Someone commented on.
People are going to think I'm being serious, by the way. I was up with you, texting you and calling you the entire time.
Yes.
I had texted and called Charlie to say, hey, if you need something, you can't get a hold of mom. Sometimes it doesn't, you know, because we have experience at the hospital with Wells, because we spent a night there a couple months ago. I was telling her, you know, let me know. Even though I'm not there, I can tell her.
Well,
so I wasn't actually just like ignoring you.
It was hard for you to not be there because you wanted to know what the doctors were saying. And because I was literally holding Wells, I couldn't text you because I've got Wells and then I've got this belly, and it's
BBW.
It's like a puzzle that I'm trying to fit, and I'm carrying things. It was hard.
I would rather sit at the hospital with you though than in general be at a conference. So I would have traded spaces easily.
Well, I was going to tell you, somebody posted on our recent podcast. They said, I love the podcast, but it makes Mike seem like he's high maintenance. So they're really going to get a kick out of that.
Why am I high maintenance? Do you think I'm high maintenance?
Absolutely.
For what?
I commented and said, yes, he is.
For what?
I don't know.
Was that the beard one?
Yeah.
Because I messed up my beard?
Yeah.
If I was high maintenance, I would have had you gluing it back on.
Eyelash glue?
Yeah, like you suggested. Not high maintenance. What time how long have you been up today?
Since 6:40 this
Yeah,
morning.
but how many hours is that?
I don't know. I don't know what time it is. What time is it? So that's 4.
And you weren't ready. Did you just count on your fingers?
Yes, I taught kindergarten. I'm a visual person.
And you weren't ready until 10 minutes before we started filming.
Right, because I got 3 children
I know,
to
I'm
school.
just setting you up. I'm just messing. Took you 4 hours to get ready for this?
Stop it. It was picture day today for Wells, and he looked so cute. He had on the classic.
He looks like a soccer player.
The classic Southern outfit with the little sweater with the collared shirt underneath it, the little shorties, and then his little knee socks. And what did you say about the knee socks?
Where are his shin guards? Where is he going to play soccer? What's he doing?
He just looks handsome.
Are kids kicking him at school? Do they not like him? What's wrong with them?
We'll find out at his conference. He has a conference coming up where we get to talk to his teacher about our toddler.
You know what they're going to say? He doesn't say much, at least that I can understand. Seems to like snack.
Love snack time. Favorite
and
time
really
of day.
likes playing peekaboo. That's what they're going to say. Like, I can give the conference.
Yeah.
These teachers are getting really aggressive with conferences. I mean, we got the one who just picked when the conference is. They just tell you, here's when the conference is at Charlie's school.
Okay, you're saying all the teachers.
Yeah, there's like, this is when the conference is during the middle of the day.
Here you go.
Another one's like, hey, here's when the conference is. Virtual, thank you for that, but still, just middle of the day. Like, what are we doing here?
I actually picked those. There was a spreadsheet, and I put our name down for the middle of the day.
You for real?
Well,
why would you do that?
Because I thought that we could.
You told me that we didn't get to pick.
Well, I thought
you told me that you acted angry and said, "Oh, I can't believe Charlie's school. They just told us when the conference is."
It might have been Charlie's school. Charlie's school, maybe. Olivia's school.
You told me both of them that they just assigned the parent-teacher conference.
I thought we could go to lunch afterwards. But then you scheduled a meeting for yourself.
Because I'm trying to. Oh my god! I have I have a countdown. I mean, and we haven't even talked about this, me and you, but I feel intense. My voice just cracked there. I think that was a physical manifestation about what I'm about to say, which is I feel incredible pressure right now because there's a whole lot going on in the world here, right? In my world, our
at
world,
work.
Yeah, work world. So. Last week, I am at a conference, that's obviously true, I was there Monday through, I took the red eye back Wednesday.
And that was actually earlier. You weren't supposed to come back
Thursday.
I
got early. Yeah, and I did that because we had
Wells was sick.
No, we did that because we had a baby appointment Thursday.
Oh, yeah, we had an ultrasound too.
So I was already doing that. And then Friday, I spoke at the State Bar of Georgia.
You had another conference you had to go to.
I gave a CLE speech. I'm going to be honest, I told everybody when I got there, it's a bunch of people I knew that were also speaking. And usually when you're a speaker, I mean, the right thing, like the professional or courteous thing, just like the friend thing to do, is you go and watch everybody else.
Yeah.
Even though, I'll be honest with you, some of the people that are speaking, I've heard their speech, because they reuse the same thing. I heard their speech 100 times, and I probably could have given it. But I did mine I was asked to do one about trial strategies, and I made mine on the plane back from Utah. Knew what I was going to say, but made a presentation, and I never really reuse. I don't think that's fair, especially when they record these CLEs now. Like it used to be back in the day, and CLEs are continuing legal education programs. It used to be, let's say back in the day, pre-COVID, you'd go to the state bar in this huge conference room, and they'd have 400 people, and you'd speak to the 400 people, and those were all the people you would speak to. Now it's more people online, and you can buy the program at any time throughout the year. So I'll have somebody in 6 months be like, oh, hey, I just watched your CLE, and I'll go, which one? And they'll say, oh, yeah, the one from whenever, about this. But I did not go. I was so tired and so worn down.
Did you blame it on me?
No, I was just like, hey, I just got back on a flight, and I've been all over the earth. But I think I spoke right after lunch, the coveted after lunch spot. That is the best spot. People are, because everybody comes for lunch, and then you stay. But
they're happy with their full bellies.
Yeah, I got there in the middle of lunch and and then gave mine. Then I said to her, like, I'm a zombie. I'm leaving. Sorry. But I did that. We technically, unless I settle this case, we have a trial starting Tuesday out of town. And then whenever the baby comes, I'm going to go on some sort of paternity leave, whether officially or unofficially.
Which is really hard for you because you're the boss, and we didn't have a great experience last time with Wells.
Oh, tell everybody. You're talking about pictures.
No, I was talking.
Wait, maybe we're not. What don't I know about our experience? I thought you were talking about pictures when we did the newborn pictures. Well, on that day we had like a little mini meltdown at the office that required immediate attention, and you were very upset that my mind was elsewhere as I was going.
For our newborn pictures. That is not the entirety of it, okay, first of all.
What are you thinking of? I don't know.
But no, that's what I'm thinking of. But it wasn't just a one day it messed up newborn pictures. It ruined the rest of your time because you had to deal with this problem for such a long time that you did not get a paternity leave, and there were other people in the office that had babies, and they did, and I was hurt that we didn't get to have that same experience.
It's really tough to.
I know, because you're the boss, and you couldn't help it. Like, I'm not mad at you.
Are you gonna cry on camera?
No.
Okay, just checking.
My face is just water.
No, I'm just checking. Here it comes.
No.
If you say to Ashley, "Are you gonna cry?" It causes crying.
gotta go get a tissue.
Tissue break. All right, back from the tissue break.
I cry over everything.
This is the first time we've ever had to pause to get some tears out. You were telling me how terrible I was.
You weren't terrible. It was just
So we're gonna do better this time. So we're totally gonna do better this time.
Yeah.
I said officially or unofficially. I'm gonna lean more towards after this conversation that we just had on the camera that we've never talked about outside of this setting. I'm gonna lean towards more an official paternity leave as opposed to unofficial, given the feedback I just received.
But you're the boss, and it's hard. Like I understand that.
Well, when I say that, I will do an official paternity leave. I've talked in videos and stuff about leave of absences where you have to file with every court like, hey, I'm not available.
Yeah.
There's some horror stories sometimes of like assholes who are lawyers that will dispute another person's paternity or maternity leave.
Yeah.
But I will do that, and if anyone disputes mine, I will firebomb their house.
No, I think the biggest thing was that.
Well, but I was gonna say it's the unofficial problem is that it's inside the office. It's inside my office.
What do you mean?
I can't officially, I don't think, take a. I mean,
no, you can't because you have
leave.
to answer emails. You have to deal with your partners, which that was fine, and I was prepared for that. But because of what happened during that time, you had to leave the house a lot. I mean, after we took pictures that day, and you did your. I have a couple of pictures that I should post, and
ones that where I'm not there, and I'm just like,
yeah,
that is my face. That is my face.
No, you have like a genuine happy face, and then you have the I'm not actually present here. I'm thinking about how I'm going to deal.
Nobody can tell when
I could tell, but it was you actually left like after maternity. I think maternity pictures actually lasted. We ended up, or not maternity pictures, newborn pictures. We did the baby
family pictures after that.
We did family pictures first, and then you left, and we just did just the baby pictures because you had to go to the office. And so I think that was the part that I really was sad about is that you had to, because it was such a big issue, you had to be in your office to deal with it, and you were there. You had to go in a lot more than we both had expected. So that was sad because I got to snuggle the little baby, but, I know that you would have wanted to be home and snuggled him too.
The way you just did that, his head was so big, though, you would have had it was more like this. Like, he had the biggest head in the entire world.
He was so cute.
Yeah, that is a real part about
being the boss.
Yeah, because...
And I didn't know that until we were in that,
Yeah, it's you have a here's how I feel. I feel like I have a responsibility and want to. So it's not just the part of the responsibility is my wants, like my personal wants. Yeah. I want, obviously, to be part of all the stuff going on. Mm-hmm. But I am also the owner of a business and I have an allegiance there. But at the same time, the business doing well also helps our family. So they're all kind of intertwined. It's not... I can just stop doing the business and kind of screw them on that side. To hell with those people. That also hurts us, obviously.
And so owning the business is really great because it does allow you being the boss, it allows you to have a fairly flexible schedule. So you are, you get a lot more flexibility than a lot of people do, and you are very present with the kids and stuff at different parts of the day. Like you can come down and you can see. If you come down from your office at home, you can see Wells, or you can run and pick up the girls in between like calls and things. It just was. I
schedule calls at 4:00,
yeah,
knowing I'm going to go pick up Charlie from the bus stop.
Yeah, it just was that those like first couple of weeks that I know a lot of people don't get paternity leave, so it definitely was a little bit selfish. But we had planned on you being home for a couple of weeks, and it just within a matter of days because something that was out of your control that happened at work made you not be able to spend those couple weeks at home with us. And so that was really sad.
So we're going to lean towards official paternity leave, as official as possible this time. You threw a little shade on some people in my office, though.
What do you
Other
mean?
people got a real paternity leave.
But that wasn't meant to. That wasn't meant to be shade. That was the truth. Like they were still working too from home. It wasn't that they weren't, but they got to be at home, and they also weren't the boss, so they didn't have to go in and deal with this issue that lasted for weeks.
They were involved. Everyone was involved. It affected everybody.
Well, yeah, but they didn't have to deal with it on their paternity leave because it didn't happen during their maternity leave.
Yeah. Not to dissuade anyone from hiring us as your lawyers, but we will have a baby most likely, let's call it middle of November, maybe early November.
Early November.
And then there's another lawyer in office who's early December. Then there's another lawyer in office middle of December.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's going to be, that's my fear, right? Is that when they go out, the two of them go out, then do I get kind of like called back up? Do they call me from the bullpen? Like, what are they? Come on in, like, come on in. And
what is it? Tag you in or tap you in? What is
when the manager walks out, he goes like this. Left-hander or right-hander. He's saying
I was thinking
which
wrestling.
Arm? Oh yeah, tagging. Yep. Not a sport, not real. But yeah, it's true.
There's gonna be some mad wrestlers.
Well, you mentioned that I can work from home and I can have a flexible schedule. Sometimes if I don't have to be like in court or something. Mm-hmm. I was the other night extremely bored's not the right word, trying to procrastinate. Like I had to do something and I just didn't want to finish it. Mm-hmm. So I'm outside and I am flipping through my own videos. Like anything I can find, I'm doing. I'm watching the videos, I'm looking at comments, like anything I can possibly do that still qualifies as work. Mm-hmm. I'm doing.
Is this when you did the live?
Yep. So I decide I'm going to do a live because like that's where it's devolved to, right? I'm willing to do anything that counts as work, but the thing I actually have to finish up.
You made a drastic movement because it triggered our security cameras, which then sends an alert to me that says somebody is on your patio.
Doesn't that happen all the time with the dogs?
Not late at night because they usually are, if they're out there with you, they're laying and you're pretty still. And so I pull it up and I just see you talking to your phone.
And you texted me, so I'm doing
I said, what are you doing?
I'm doing a live. And you texted me, are you talking to yourself? And I said, no, I'm on a live, which I hadn't done in like 2 years. What you don't know is Logan here and Reese, who do our videos, Reese starts asking questions on the live, and I see
you guys were on the live too.
I see Reese pop up in a question, and he's asking like legitimate questions, like, "What do you think of Liberty Mutual?" I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's Reese, but I'm not sure. Like, I don't know. You can't stop the live, and I can't call or text him, be like, "Are you with me on the live asking questions?" And then I said something. Somebody wrote a comment, or and I'm answering the comments that get asked, and somebody asked about. I think it's the Universal ride where somebody was killed. Oh, yeah. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure I made a video about that. I'm sure it'll come out soon.
Did it come out today?
Yeah. Logan, though, texts me and goes, it's coming out in 3 days. And I'm like, it's coming out in 3 days.
Everybody was watching it.
I texted them after. I told them, I felt like a kid that was like, up late trying to hide from their parents. And then, I got caught. That's what I felt like I was doing.
Now everybody knows whenever you do a live, you're procrastinating, doing something else.
I hadn't done one in like 2 years or something. I don't know what, I struggle with the value of it. I don't, the people that like stream themselves playing games on Twitch, they like make money from it and that's how they live. No. Me answering people's questions, especially when they're given the ethical problems of answering people's very specific questions about their situations. Sometimes it's really tough. Yeah. I almost just want to make a video of me doing a live and then I'll redo the video of me just answering all the questions that I always get asked over and over. But I've only ever done it like maybe 5-6 times, something like that.
You're usually smoking a cigar, watching a game.
I was smoking a cigar and I was watching football.
I didn't join the live because that's not my thing.
So I'm in it and it says, do you want, a thing pops up on my screen.
Oh, that was a different one. That was a TikTok live.
Yeah, I did 2 back to back, both under the same exact circumstances where I needed something done, watching Sunday Night Football and then watching Monday Night Football when my thing was due on Tuesday.
I was just scrolling through TikTok, doom scrolling, and it popped up that you were live and I clicked on it not knowing
and you left a comment. Now before that happened, you wrote in.
I think I said, of course you're doing a live right now or something like that.
Well, before you...
Or you should be in bed.
Yeah. Before you popped up, I guess it knew that you were on your app and it said, do you want Ashley to join? And somebody said, where's Ashley? And I said, I think she's in bed sleeping. It's weird though. TikTok's asking me if I want her to join and didn't like click with me. I should have, and you could have just been in bed in the dark answering people's questions. It would have been great.
Nobody wants me to answer any questions.
Yes, they do.
No.
I want you to do a podcast alone. I've been trying to talk you into this, that you do one yourself.
No.
Yeah.
You're the social media influencer.
Oh, God. I think I've told this story. I don't know if I've told it or we told it in here, but Charlie came home once and goes, gets in my car. She goes, and I'm like, bad day at school? And she goes, and I'm like, what's the matter? And she goes, my friends saw you on YouTube. And I'm like, okay. She goes, so embarrassing. Yep. And I'm like, why are your friends on YouTube? And she goes, because their parents don't have the child restrictions, so they're able to watch real YouTube. And I go, well, all they do apparently is watch me on real YouTube. That sounds like your child YouTube is way better than theirs. These are 12-year-olds. And she's like, it's just so embarrassing.
Yeah.
What do you want me to do?
Well, she's learning a lot from being in middle school and from other kids not having their child protective settings on their phones because
it's not bullshit. It's not the child protective settings. She learns stuff.
You don't think so?
She learned. No, the thing I'm thinking of, she learns because of you.
Oh, what do you think she learns because
do you
of
know
me?
what I'm talking about?
I'm very
Is there too many
interested.
things for you to pull out of your head that you're not sure which one it is?
I don't want to say the wrong thing and then
so
you also blame me for that.
I am totally fine with kids of a certain age, at least. I don't know. She's in this dicing age where I was about to say I'm totally fine with kids listening to uncensored music in any way. But she's in this really weird age where she knows enough but doesn't know enough. She knows some but doesn't know enough, I guess I'd say. So Taylor Swift's new album's out. She was our first guest this season on the podcast. And there's you take it from here. I'm not going to talk about this. But I want to say what Charlie said. Yeah.
Taylor Swift's new album came out and...
The Life of a Showgirl.
The Life of a Showgirl.
Get it now on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you buy your music.
So
she needs my help to advertise. But fun fact, do you know the Apple Twitter account had not tweeted in years? I can't say Twitter, whatever, X, whatever it is. Had not tweeted, I'm going to say
the
tweeted.
Taylor Swift account?
No, the Apple Music account had been basically inactive. And then I guess Taylor Swift got them to post, like they posted for Taylor Swift after being inactive for 2 years.
Is Apple Music even a thing? I thought that changed over to something else.
I don't think so.
Oh.
I don't know. I use Spotify.
I used to use...
When we started dating, you were using, what was that crap you were using?
Apple Music.
No, I thought you used something else. Wasn't there another one?
Apple Music.
That's terrible. But now we've
well, because we're on a family plan.
Yeah, family Spotify. Charlie has Spotify now. So we all have Spotify.
Yes. Well, so...
And you can find this podcast on Spotify. and Apple Music or Apple Podcasts.
I mean, it's my first time parenting a 12-year-old, so I don't know what the right answer is, but I listen to songs and I will listen to the explicit version. And here's my reasoning why. I think when kids are, 4 and under, I think when they're singing songs, they're just singing sounds. They don't really know what the words are. If Olivia was my oldest, I would be listening to the clean version of the Taylor Swift song.
What's the one where the girl talks about having her period?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'll get back to you. Hold on.
So if it were just Olivia, because she's 8, I would
Lizzo.
Oh yeah.
She has a song about her period.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Go continue. I'll get back to you with the lyrics.
You're throwing me off on this.
Because Charlie can sing every song about damn time. A song about damn time. Oh yeah,
she loves Lizzo.
Yeah, and here's Charlie rapping, singing to what is it? You know the line I'm talking about. Don't pretend you don't.
All right, I'm going to finish my story while you're finding that.
Yeah, I'll get back to you.
So if Olivia was the oldest, I would not let her, we'd listen to the clean version, but we have a 12-year-old. So unfortunately, because of that, Olivia is going to be introduced to things sooner. For Charlie, I know that she is going to hear the explicit version at school. They're going to talk about it. She's going to learn it on the bus. And so I like to keep things really open. And so we'll listen to it, and she will ask us questions about, what does this mean? What does that word mean? And I like that as a parent, because that allows me to be a part of the narrative and not just let her hear things explained from other middle school kids. And my mom was the same way. I listened to songs that had...
I grew up listening to Eminem, 6th grade. I was all about it.
I was about to say, you were 12 in what, the 90s? Probably 98.
Yeah, that's right. Your math's right.
Okay.
You didn't even use your fingers. Look
No.
at you. Oh, you were. Is that on the camera? You were.
No, I think the camera
I thought I
just gets
caught
to-
you, or I thought, and then I see the spirit fingers down there.
So I wonder what the top songs were from 1998, because I guarantee you they were explicit too. Or they had something, there were some that had some explicit language in them.
In case you're wondering, The Boy Is Mine by Monica. I Don't Want to Miss a Thing by Aerosmith. This is way more family friendly than you thought. Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls.
Do hip hop or rap, because
Intergalactic by the Beastie Boys, but
No.
that's still no.
No,
Fat Boy Slim. I have to praise you like I should.
I was singing like a version
Ghetto
by Madonna.
Superstar. Rosa Parks by Outkast. Let me see. I'll look up hip hop.
Yeah, I was about to say, you're 12.
But back then it was like
I was listening to Chingy in middle school.
Yeah, but I don't even think all he wanted to do was drink in the club.
The Holiday Inn song?
Yeah, they had a threesome in the lobby, didn't they, or something? Or was that?
Or in an elevator. So there was
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, DMX and the Rough Riders anthem was out there.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, but there also was back then, I mean, there was a really big political pushback of, we shouldn't have this music on the radio, and kids shouldn't be exposed to it. Now we're just like, it. Like that's all right. So you got to get to the Taylor Swift.
Her album came out, and I let Charlie listen to the explicit version of it. And
did you actually make that decision, or were you just listening to it?
I made that decision a long time ago.
Were
you listening to what I just said?
Yeah, but no, for this album, I didn't know
You didn't know there was a clean version?
No, when Charlie said to me, she goes, yeah, there's a clean version that's totally different. I go, I didn't know that Taylor Swift fell into the category of has an explicit version, has a clean version.
She
never
actually
occurred to me.
always does that. And in
I
fact,
didn't know she cursed.
Oh. As she's gotten older, she does.
Well, can you get to the
song that Charlie... Well, she came home and she was asking about a song, and because we're so open...
She walked in with the face of, I know what I'm doing. Like, she wasn't asking. She was telling us that she knows.
Okay, what did she tell us? There's a song on Taylor Swift's album called Wood that apparently is about an appendage that Travis Kelce has.
An appendage? And it's like a redwood tree? That's what you're blushing. This is crazy.
Yep.
And Charlie, well, I don't know what she said. What did she actually say? She said, oh, no, I do know, because I was driving her back from gymnastics or something, and she asked me to put on the song. And like always, I said, once I get done with this phone call, and that phone call lasted the entire ride, so we did not listen to any Taylor Swift songs, which she was mad about. But she comes in and says, I want to listen to the song. Can you put it on in the house? And then she says to you, did you know that Taylor Swift says something really dirty in one of her songs? And you knew exactly what she was talking about.
She said there's a dirty version and there's a clean version.
And then we pretended we didn't know and said, well, what do you mean? What are you talking about?
I said, what song? And she said, in the song Wood. And I said, oh, I don't know. What are you talking about? Because I'm not going to volunteer information. I want to hear what she thinks it is. And then if I need to do some correcting.
You used to tell me times when you would get home from work and a kid would come over, a kindergarten would come over and be like, Billy said the F word. And you'd go, okay, well, Billy, can you come over here? Susan says you said the F word. Did you? And he'd go, yeah.
And I would say,
what's the F word? And sometimes he would go, freak.
Yeah.
And then other times you go, the kid would go, you would go, oh, yep, that's it. Yep.
Yeah. But you never, because they could say the S word and it was
Stupid.
like, shut up or stupid. Every now and then you would get a But I would always say, will you just whisper it to me this one time?
All right,
so that's kind of, I use the same mentality. Charlie, what are you talking about?
So Charlie goes, it's about, when you're humping.
Yeah, she said
Humping.
She said it talks about redwood trees and it talks about your thighs. And I said, or opening your thighs. And I said, what do you think that means? And she goes, humping. And I said,
like the dogs?
I know. I said, well, what does humping mean? And she goes, like the dogs do.
Who let the dogs out?
And Mike is just as quiet and as still as he can be, like pretending to be on his phone. Doesn't make eye contact with anybody.
I'm not joining that.
And I said, you're exactly right.
I'm not joining that at all. No way.
But I want to be able to have those conversations with her, because if she's just learning things from other middle schoolers, then they're controlling the narrative. And, in this case, she feels comfortable enough to have that conversation with us.
When she said humping, you started laughing.
Of course I did.
She was rolling on the floor laughing about how funny she thought it was.
Yeah. That was hilarious.
Weird.
You wouldn't have had those conversations with your parents? I asked my mom all the time what things meant, and she would tell me, to the point one time I said, if you're going to lie about it, just don't tell me. Because I thought it was so absurd. And now looking back, she told me the real thing.
Yeah, no, I did not have those conversations. No, I learned from the other kids in 6th grade.
So see,
and look how I turned out. We're together. Same place, same time. Thank you for being here.
That's what's wrong with you. You learned the narrative from other middle schoolers.
Yeah,
That's why you didn't learn about the Prince Albert.
This is gonna go. I remember a guy named AJ explaining to me, it had to be, he was a year older than me. His brother was in my grade.
Yeah.
So it had to be, I would think, this is like 7th grade would be my guess. And he explained to me how condoms work. And I'm not going to tell you what he said, but I'm going to tell you that's not how condoms work. Like he was talking about like that you wear it pretty much the whole day. And like, I still remember that. And I thought that for a long time. Looking back, if AJ was wearing a condom that whole day, I felt really bad. Like that's not good.
So see?
It's not good for your appendage.
For your appendage.
Why are we using that? Like, where did that word come from?
They used it on New Heights.
Well, that's the Kelsey podcast?
Yeah, the Jason Kelsey.
Is that the only podcast you watch?
Yes, just because I don't watch it for the sports. I watch it because obviously the relationship between Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift, I think, is interesting.
I don't watch any podcasts. I don't.
Except ours.
Yeah, I don't even give us the view. I watch it before it comes out. You thankfully give us a view.
I do. I don't get the privilege of seeing it before it comes out.
I offer it to you all the time, and you go no.
Well, because it's usually at night when you're smoking a cigar.
Well, it's also usually I watch the first draft. There's like I usually don't actually see the final one, or at least look back in the final one. I also watch it like triple speed while I'm driving in a car. Like I'll do that too, just to hear it, make sure we don't say something really stupid.
Yeah, I will, and
This is going to set the record for number of penis references in this.
Oh
this
God.
One.
I usually have kids with me too, and so if I don't remember what we're talking about, I can't.
So the only thing censored in your car is our podcast.
Absolutely, you have to be censored 100%.
I would have no problem with the girl. I don't know. Yeah, we have talked about some stuff.
Yeah,
some stuff. Charlie had another lockdown drill. Again, another false alarm. That one we didn't know about until she got home because she didn't have her phone.
Well, you just went into that story high speed. I think you have to explain a little bit that they have a new alarm system, and that's why they keep having these false alarms. And it's an alarm system for intruders where the teachers have, or the staff.
I don't care. You shouldn't have false alarms that make kids think that they're going to be killed.
The staff has key cards, and the key cards are very sensitive. And the reason I know this is because our school had that.
If they keep this shit up, I'm going to join the PTA. I'm going to be involved. That's my warning to them.
But it's been implemented all over the state of Georgia. I don't know if it's outside the state of Georgia, but ever since the Appalachia school shooting, they've started implementing these, and it's a really great system because it's a card that a teacher can have on them just with their badge, and you press a little button, and it immediately calls 911. It sets off an alarm to let people.
Oh, it's really good at setting off the alarm. It's
the
real
problem
good at setting off
is that the key cards are kind of sensitive, and so if you're carrying a lot of books and you have it in the wrong place, it gets.
All they're doing is desensitizing kids to the alarm.
So,
Charlie's now like, yeah, alarm went off. Could have been a shooter. Probably wasn't.
The difference in this one, though, is that it happened during the school day.
Yeah.
And at her school, and we had some people comment on this, and I think we made a comment on the podcast where we talked about her last false alarm. We were very happy that she had her phone and was able to talk to us. She did not have her phone because at their school, they take the phone away at the beginning of the day, and then they don't get it until the end of the day, right before they're getting on buses.
Stupid.
So we did not hear about it until she gets home from the bus and she tells us, and we both were kind of, wait, what? And she was like, don't worry, it was a false alarm, but we did have another
no big deal.
drill.
Potential active shooter. It's okay. Don't worry.
Yes. But at the time they thought it was real. And the school did send us an email almost immediately afterwards, and they apologized. They did the right thing. They said, this should not happen. We are so sorry. This is what we're doing to prevent it.
You got the email. Like, this is a really impressive email. I was like, what else are they going to do? Like, what other option? That should be the expectation.
I guess working in a school system so long, very rarely do I see schools take responsibility.
Well, this is why we can't trust children. This is why we can't trust teachers to do education. This is why public schools are failing.
It's not teachers. It's school systems.
This is why we need to ban books. This is all this.
I just really liked the way that they handled it and the way that they said it absolutely is our fault. This should not happen. Here's the steps that we're taking. And so I really appreciated that as a parent. But I just wondered, what did you think? Because isn't there a new law about cell phones in public school? And I only know cell phones from an elementary school teacher's perspective. I know fifth graders might have had cell phones. A lot of, fourth and fifth graders had the Apple Watches. And they were a real problem in school because kids would go to the bathroom and text their parent, hey, what's 5 times 5 for a math test? And then go back. Oh, yeah, absolutely. And parents would help them.
Wouldn't you? If Charlie texts you, Olivia's doing multiplication right now. And I think she has a test today.
She does. She has a math test.
All right. And she's been struggling 7 times 749. That's one. If she called me up, texted me, whatever, and said, what's 7 times 7? I'd be like, 49. What, you had another? I'd be like, do you have another? Hurry up. It'd be like, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Where you have 60 seconds to talk to your person. That guy famously called his dad and goes, Dad, I'm calling. You're my lifeline. I want to tell you I won $1 million. If Olivia called me and was like, what's 7 times 7? I'd be like, hey, we've still got 55 more seconds. Come on, hit me another. 21, 42, 66.
I would say get off your phone and go back to class.
What?
Yes.
Babe, if Olivia killed someone, I would help her hide the body.
Okay.
I would. You
I'm
telling you.
Put that out of the podcast.
Why? I would. I 100% would. But
so I can see how it's a problem in elementary school. I could see how it is a problem probably in middle and high school as well, having phones out. But I don't know what the right thing to do is, because when there's a lockdown drill or a lockdown, I want my kid to be able to communicate with me, and I want to be able to communicate with them.
Do you know what the firm rule is for phones?
Oh, you have a rule? I didn't.
Well,
know.
you think people magically graduate from school and then suddenly go, when I go to work, I'm not going to use my phone. I'm just going to continue to work 100%. You think that's what happens? Like suddenly, since they
I do think that happens.
Yeah, because you and I never texted while you were teaching.
We didn't a lot, and you have to.
Sure, a lot we didn't, but sometimes we did. Especially when we first started dating. I was like, are you actually working? Like, do you really teach? Because I don't know. How are you doing this? We'd be like, this is how we do this on the board, and then you're got one hand on the phone?
When we first started dating, I was teaching virtually because of COVID.
Ah, you got me there.
I win.
Oh, so you were like this. You were in front of the computer, and you're like...
No, I was sharing my screen so that nobody could see me texting.
Do you really, do you know what do you think the firm rule is? If you had to make a rule for the firm, what do you think the rule is? Now, here's what I'll tell you to balance. We are all on our phones, lawyer-wise, necessarily because of work.
Yeah.
Some staff, Casey, Alexis, have, and a few others, have emails on their phone Some staff do not, and that's it's completely their choice because it's their personal phone.
Yeah.
I don't think the email should be on their personal phone. Like Rachel, famously in my office, who's our head of our intake department, for a very long time did not have email on her phone, and we didn't know. I didn't even know.
Yeah.
Because it just didn't matter. Because I'm not going to bother you at 8 o'clock at night. If I do, it's an emergency. I'm going to call you and be so sorry. Like truly. But so the context here is, what is the rule when certain people in the office are going to be on their phone necessarily? And I don't want to make a rule where, like, sometimes I'll spend 5 minutes on my phone not doing work. Like, I don't expect anybody to be a robot throughout an 8-hour workday.
I don't know, because
We'll make a rule, actually. What do you think the rule should be?
My rule would be based on my experience. And in the school systems, I never put my school email on my phone. That was just something that I didn't do. But we did have apps and things that we had to use, like behavior apps that would be on our phone, or if we had to get in touch with an admin. So there were reasons to have our phone with us constantly.
You had to check in on your phone when you got to work.
Yes. Yeah. So you literally had to sign in on your phone saying that you were there. But you're the boss. What would you do in my firm? Because this is a real... I think it's important for people to have their phone to have access in case of emergencies. You know, if your kid calls you or if the nurse calls you, you want to be able to answer it. If the nurse from the school calls you about your kid. So I think that that's really important. But
Delay.
I don't think that you should be on social media.
Hey, you got to write a rule. What's the rule?
I don't know. This is why I'm not a boss.
Yeah. Our rule is officially keep your phone in your desk and you can take your phone out for 5 minutes an hour. So do non-work stuff.
Okay.
That's our official rule.
Right.
That rule really only gets implemented if you're not getting your work done and you're always on your phone. Mm-hmm. So once that happens, I can think of the 2 times ever that we've had to say to somebody, hey, we actually have a rule. I want to remind you of the rule. This is the rule.
Right.
So it's basically use your phone at your own discretion. Obviously our office is one big long hallway with offices.
You're not patrolling going, your phone's out, your phone's out.
Yeah, like we've thought about like you have to have your phone away. But when I walk down the hall, I naturally look in people's offices. I'm not like scouting them out. I'm just like looking because it'd be weird to walk straight ahead and not look at anybody. And I see people on their phones, and that doesn't bother me, because if it did, I guess the alternative is, the other side of it would be, is if I was like monitoring phones, that would just stress me out. Like, oh, why are they on the phone? They might be on their phone because they're, Googling something and they felt like doing it from their phone. It doesn't matter to me as long as you're getting your work done. But when you're not,
then it becomes a problem.
Yeah. And the answer or the reason seems to be that you're on your phone. It's, hey, last 5 minutes of every hour, that's what the rule is, all coming back to me. The last 5 minutes of every hour, you can use your phone for personal reasons if you need to.
Well, and I think that that's a discipline thing that has to be learned. I don't expect Charlie to be able to have the mental capacity to be able to say, okay, I need to get this work done first, and then I can use my phone. I think that we have to kind of guide her in that. That's why we have parent restrictions. Time restrictions and things. And I think that's true for high schoolers as well.
Well, there was somebody on our firm that would watch TV all day and do work. Well, I shouldn't say did that. At some point in time, did that. And that is not okay. We're not going to do that, because even if you sell me, even if you tell me, it helps me focus better, I'm not comfortable with that. You're not going to sit and watch The Office all day while, answering phones or doing your work. I'm not okay with that. I don't know why. People may think that's weird, but I'm okay with music. If you want to play music in the background, that's fine. Just like watching a show, watching a movie, that's almost like that's way too far for me. In schools, and the reason I brought up you asked me like what I think about this school law, which it's going across all over the country where phones are being banned.
What is the law? Do you know?
And here in our state, it's next year phones are not allowed in schools. But they don't the reason they did it for a year later, even though they passed it this past July, it won't go into effect until
Schools are practicing
next.
and implementing it right
Yeah.
now, trying to figure out what the best way is to implement it.
That's it. The law doesn't have an implementation requirement. It doesn't tell them how to accomplish it.
Right.
So it's left up to the different
So like
boards of
Charlie's
education.
school,
They're not required by it anyway.
because it's a
Yeah,
private
but
school.
Olivia's school is.
Yeah, but like Charlie's school, they take away the phones. It goes into their homeroom and they, put them in a basket or something. And then at the end of the day, they go back to homeroom and get them. Olivia's school, phones and smartwatches, they tell them to leave smartwatches at home, but they have to be in their book bag and not visible. At the high school, I know they have the little pouches that they put them in. But
They do this in high school?
yes.
Oh, I didn't realize that. So,
But the high schoolers, I've seen so many that have learned that on Amazon you can buy the little magnetic unlock thing for the pouches that they have to stick their phone in, or some of them will put fake phones in there and then keep their real. I mean, it's gotten.
I think for elementary school
crazy.
and middle school, I don't think there should be phones. I don't think so, because I think what you're learning, you need to learn, and I don't think that they're capable of focusing while having a phone.
What about with the amount of times that transportation changes in the afternoon? That's why I really like the phones.
I think they should do the bag thing. I think they should have it on them, but they can't access them.
Oh, okay.
Or, some way like that.
Yeah.
I mean, if Apple wants to do a school app where, schools say if you want to bring your phone, you got to download this app and the phone goes off from these times or it's inaccessible.
Olivia had one of those, what was it, an air tag in her book bag. And I love that because sometimes her bus, one time it was an
Where's
hour
the air tag
late.
now?
It's in her old book bag that I donated. Goodwill.
We've been watching whoever.
It's down at East Point. No,
Yeah.
I disconnected that air tag. I'm sorry.
The reason I brought up work though from this conversation is because we have this problem. Every business has this problem. It's like, how much should a person be on a phone during a work day? And I just think if you don't let people use phones at some point during their education, they don't know how to do it. And I mean, I don't know. I would have no problem with all high school tests at this point being like all open book or open phone. You don't have to do open book. If you can find the answer on your phone during the test, that's good enough for me. You know how to find the answer. I mean, like,
I don't know.
think about the crap that they're learning right now. Tell me fun facts about the Panama Canal, Ashley. Go ahead. Please. Can you tell me one? Wait, can you do one?
No, because you studied with
All right, wait. Can you tell me a fun fact? What subject did you cover recently? Or what topic did you cover in history? Didn't you do a history one? Ooh, can you tell me which is larger? Okay. Or here we go. If I wanted to measure a pencil, what unit of measurement would I use? Which this is weird because 6th grade Charlie and 3rd grade Olivia are learning the same thing at the same time.
Sort of. They're learning the metric system.
Centimeters, by the way. The answer is centimeters. That's how you'd measure a
How
pencil.
long? Oh, I thought you were talking about how heavy, because she was
heavy
doing grams.
Grams, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And by the way, the Panama Canal, for example, is the only thing that actually separates North America from South America. And technically, by most definitions of the word continent, which means that it's an island separated by water, each continent should be an island. Technically, because the Panama Canal is man-made, there's a really good argument that it should just be the continent of America, not North and South. These are the things, by the way, that I tell Charlie, and I hope she puts on a test. And they're like, what?
Stop it. Back to the law, though, the phones.
Oh.
What could consequences be? Like, what?
All these laws generally say is that schools are required to not allow students to have phones. So there isn't what's called a private right of action. There isn't an ability for a kid or a parent to be sued, or for a kid or a parent to face some sort of criminal charges because they're breaking the law. The law is that the schools must implement this plan. So the responsibility is on the school.
Right.
And, if the school chose not to follow the law, then there could be consequences against the school where the government, the Secretary of State, the Attorney General, who's the highest legal officer in states, they would probably move to force the school to implement the law.
And what about parents? And, so you say schools could be held accountable if they choose not to take away phones?
Yeah, parents are in the clear too.
Oh, schools can't be held accountable. What?
Blah, 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 what?
You said parents are in the clear too. That's
Yes, parents and kids cannot. Their parents and kids are not potentially liable or criminally responsible because the law is the school must do this.
What if a parent fights it and says, I purchased this phone for my kid. It's a safety precaution. I want my kid to have access to their phone throughout the day. Because that's the argument that I see being in a school. So what is...
I don't off the top of my head here. I feel like I'm on a TikTok live.
I'm going to hold you to this. I've been drilling you.
Let me tell you my 17 paragraph. I got
parents around Georgia are taking notes right now.
As we're sitting here, like on this same thing, as we're sitting here, I get this email. It's titled "Quick Questions About Suing Uber."
Ooh.
Okay. I don't know if we can. It's a long email. This is from a random person. I'll answer it, but like these are not quick questions, my man. And then let me tell you so here you are telling me, let me ask you a quick question. My legal analysis on the spot under the pressure of the bright lights that are shining in my eyes is that I don't think there's anything parents can do. I mean, schools have the ability to the schools have the requirement to follow the law. This law isn't discriminatory in any way. It doesn't violate any constitutional rights. You don't have a right to a phone in a school. Just like a parent could say, I want to have my kid armed when they go to school to protect themselves. They're as long as I don't know the standard. I'm sure there's some standard. There's a lot of standards in the law about what a law has to pass or meet. There's on certain things. There's like intermediate scrutiny. There's strict scrutiny. There's different standards. But I would imagine here that your state passed a law and you got to follow it. And this law doesn't seem to be run afoul with any constitutional protections that we have.
Cell phones I remember getting my first cell phone in high school and I begged.
Did you get a Razor?
No.
Did you ever have a Razor?
Yes.
Greatest phone ever.
I was in 9th grade and I begged for it. I had a prepaid Virgin Mobile phone.
I used to call, this was 9th grade, my 9th grade and 10th grade. I used to call my house collect. And when it asked, please state your name of who's calling, I'd say, I'm done at basketball practice. Can you come pick me up? And then I'd hang up.
But was that from a cell phone or from like a wall phone? From a payphone, okay.
Yeah, I know. Payphone.
So I remember getting that cell phone, and that was a very new thing. I know people in my school.
Did you have any games?
The Snake game.
I didn't have Snake. I had a Verizon phone that was like a block, but it didn't have any games.
But that was early 2000s. And then, as the years went on, cell phones became more and more normalized in schools and things. But school shootings have been going on since way before cell phones became popular in schools. And we have laws about cell phones now.
Well, think about how many inside of school videos you've seen. And I can't tell you how many videos I've had sent to me from potential clients of, look what this teacher did, or look what happened in this school, and it's a cell phone video from a kid.
Oh, do you think it's like a self-preservation sort of thing?
Wow, you're on the conspiracy theory train today. No.
Is that a
no, because I don't think schools were I guess schools
have other they have camera systems in them now, and
sometimes
whether or not they work is
Yeah, I get worried that a byproduct of this is that we're going to lose some transparency in schools. But, I can get behind the no phones for younger kids. But when you get older, you have to learn how to live with a phone and on a phone. I mean, that's the truth. Most jobs require, the idea of screen time, my opinion has changed over the years, which I think there's bad screen time. There's just staring at TV watching. But I know you agree with this. If Olivia and Charlie want to go on a screen, whatever the screen is, and play a game that they learn from, I'm like, okay, even if they want to play, what's the stupid one Charlie plays where they build stuff and Olivia plays?
Is it Minecraft?
Yeah. I think Minecraft is pretty cool. They build stuff. They have to learn about, how they're going to shape things, how to separate things. I mean, it gives them spatial awareness. It gives them kind of design. Like, even though that's not a learning game officially, I don't think. Like,
Well, one of the biggest
they're going to be at work
improvements,
behind a computer most days.
one of the biggest improvements with Olivia's reading happened, and her spelling happened when we got our little tablet, and she could, I mean, it's just a Wi-Fi one, but she could text us because she learned how to spell from there.
Charlie is not going the opposite direction. Her spelling is atrocious. Atrocious.
She's learning acronyms.
Yeah, what were some of the ones that she was testing us on the other day?
I don't know.
We did like the whole, generation thing where I was like, what does BRB mean? She knew that one.
Yeah.
Be right back.
Or what's a VHS? What's a CD?
Did know those. So I guess we'll end this episode by saying this. If Ashley has her way, we won't have another episode after this for a little while. Because she will have a baby. Because if you didn't know, Ashley goes to every doctor's appointment and tries to convince the doctor to induce her early. And they've already agreed to go a week early, but she is greedy and is constantly saying to them, please, can I do it early? Do I have high blood pressure? Is there something wrong with me? She's trying to find something wrong with her to get induced early.
Which is just a silly joke, though, because I don't want
They
people...
are so sick of you. They are so sick of you.
But I am so happy to be able to carry this baby because we worked really hard for it, and I want the baby to come out happy, healthy.
We're in the pineapple stage. The baby's a pineapple.
Yeah, I don't want any NICU stay time, so I'm okay with her being in there, but it is very uncomfortable. I'm in the stage where, I have to give myself a pep talk every morning to roll out of bed.
It's more like, ugh, that's that sound.
Well, I have to build myself up because if you roll too fast, I will pull a muscle. There's a... you know what we should do next podcast is I should tape like a big old watermelon to your belly and see.
I'll do it.
And 2 cantaloupes.
That might be too far.
No, you got to have the whole, you can't move your arms. You got to
you just compare yourself to cantaloupes.
I'm just saying that there's extra weight in the front of your torso in multiple spots.
Uh-huh.
You're ridiculous.
Uh-huh. Last time when we had Wells, I made a video about this and people got so angry about that I didn't read any books. Because I made a video saying I purposely didn't read any books because I did. The backstory here is I read a bunch of like becoming a step parent books.
Which I loved. That made me fall even more in love with you because that was very sweet.
Well, I was just woefully unprepared. And I was like, what the do I do here? So I read the books and, like it just, the books I read gave me more confidence than anything just to like figure it out. But I didn't actually think I learned anything. That's the truth. Like, especially since I call my stepdad dad. Like that is my dynamic growing up.
Do you remember me getting mad though about all the questions you were asking? And I did
that's
say
what I'm
at
getting.
one point.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting. So I didn't read any books and I told you I wasn't going to. You were aware of this.
I was aware, but I wasn't aware of the amount of questions.
All right, hold on, we'll get there.
We'll get there.
But it's not just the questions. You're forgetting a vital part of that. So leading up to it, I didn't read any books because I wanted to experience it and I wanted to kind of not know things, right? I didn't want to have, and I also, when I would ask you questions before Wells, or when you would tell me things, I would say I don't want to know that sometimes because you have the experience of going through 2 kids and it kind of was like, I felt
behind.
Yeah, but I also wanted to be behind. I didn't want to know things that I wouldn't have known if, I was around for Charlie.
You wanted to experience it for the first time. You wanted your experience.
Yeah. And I didn't want an expert telling me the answer to everything.
Not an expert.
Yeah, you're a little bit of a know-it-all. So maybe you're not an expert, but you know it all. So you don't know as much as Charlie, though. Charlie knows everything. Mm-hmm. So then, fast forward, we're in like week 3. And I want to give the compliment here. One thing I did not know is that sometimes it takes a really long time for someone after birth to like get up and around. You and I went to a restaurant how many days after Wells was born?
2.
And then I think we went someplace on a 3rd day too.
Yeah.
So you bounced back and I was like, oh, this is normal. Let's go get breakfast. And you were like, I think it was your idea or something, but did I have an R right there when I said idea? It sounded like a little idea. But anyway. So we were out and about and you not me, that was not like me forcing you in any way, but what we did, that was my normal. And through that time, I was also asking a lot of questions. And there was one night that it was like, here's the part you missed. 3 a.m. We had not slept for like a week straight, both of us. And I asked you a question and you go, you got to read a book. Read a book. That's when you snapped. And then I made a video about that because it was fresh on my
you've got
mind.
to figure it out. I can't
read a book if you have to.
That's
That's what you said. Yeah.
Yeah. I stand by that.
But the problem with that is
Yeah.
when the book disagrees with you, the book is wrong and you're right. So I ultimately have to ask you anyway, Ashley, is the book right? Like, is this what you want me to do here? Because you do have some strong opinions about very few, but certain things, and you don't care what the book says, or the doctor, or science, or medicine, or wisdom.
That's not true. That's not true. I mean, it puts a lot of pressure on me too. And I think people have said that is that not only am I taking care of the baby, but I'm also having to answer your questions. And I don't know. I'm not
It would have been
expert.
easier, frankly, if you didn't know.
Yeah.
You would have just been like, I don't know either. Let's just figure it out. But I knew you knew the answer. And it made me feel like I was like what I would call a bad employee who comes around and goes, hey, I know you know this answer. What's the answer? Hey, tell me how to do this. I know you know how to do it. And I was just afraid and worried about, getting it wrong. I also wanted to make sure I did it your way. But this time, I got all the knowledge.
All of the knowledge?
All of it. Yep. And
You've never had an infant girl.
And I don't have to deal with a penis. Because Wells peed on me all the time.
Yeah, he did. It was hilarious.
Girls don't do that, right?
Sometimes. It just doesn't have the projection.
Yeah, that's okay. I was just thinking, like, how does that work? Like, Wells would pee on me, out and up. Baby can't do that, right? The baby would pee down, right?
I mean,
that is how it works,
yeah.
right?
It just puddles up.
Okay.
Man.
Wells doesn't even pee in the bathtub either. He controls it. I appreciate that. I can't wait. He's getting close to where we're going to start peeing outside. Give it like another 6-9 months. Him and I are going to go outside and just start peeing.
Oh, gosh.
Like, what are you looking forward to being a boy dad? That. All right. Well, if we don't have another episode, I'm just giving some warning. If we
skip a week.
Yeah, if we skip a week, sorry. What I'll do, I guess, now that I'm thinking about this, maybe what I'll do is when you have the baby, I'll make a short video, but we'll upload it to the Married to the Law podcast, like playlist. Maybe we could think of something. We'll try to tell the world, and then we'll come back. Our plan, at least, is to come back and do an episode, at least one if we can, afterwards. Long way of saying, if we don't have a video, just planning for all the options here. I guess lawyers do, right? Plan for the worst or best, depending on how you look at it. Yep. If we don't have a podcast for a while, that's why. Otherwise, we'll see you next week. Bye.